The LA Sparks look suspect a little bit in that first half, but then they come out in that second half ready to roll. Here's the thing. This is a team that is playing without some of their players. They're playing without Ray Burrell. They're playing without Rekia Jackson. And, of course, they're playing without Cameron Brink, who will be back soon-ish, or not soon-ish, in July. Rekia Jackson is out with concussion protocol. Ray Burrell is on crutches, I believe, still. And Cameron Brink won't be back until July, as she is still returning back from the ACL tear from last year. So this is a LA Sparks team that is not even fully baked yet, right? This team is not fully baked yet, and yet and still, this team has found an identity through, in my opinion, their best player, who is Kelsey Plum. Guys, in this game, Kelsey Plum finishes with 28 points. So 28 points, good. Very, very good for Kelsey Plum. However, the thing I want to talk about in particular is Kelsey Plum's ability to shoot and score in bunches. Guys, of those 28 points, I believe 17 of those points came directly in that third quarter where Kelsey Plum went off. I talked about it in that first half. I was saying the thing that I want to see from the LA Sparks is Kelsey Plum coming off the screen and getting wide open looks at the three, right? Off ball, Kelsey Plum getting screens, running off those screens, and getting a wide open look from the three. And that's exactly what happened in that third quarter. There was a sequence where we saw mistakes by the Chicago Sky, and then on the LA Sparks side, we saw 2 back-to-back threes from Kelsey Plum. And then the Sky was like, okay, we gotta hone in on Kelsey Plum, hone in on her. And then what do? They get the ball to Azurá Stevens, who end up is like a screen handoff thing or whatever. Azurá Stevens ends up getting a wide open 3-point shot. She knocks it down as well. So it was 3 straight threes in that third quarter alone by the LA Sparks. This is a team that, again, they're missing a lot of pieces. However, in the third quarter, the LA Sparks make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 threes. That's a lot. 8 threes in that third quarter. Again, scoring in bunches, which is why in the third quarter alone, they scored 33 points. This is an LA team that can play really, really well off ball. Again, running off of tons of screens. And the greatest thing about this LA Sparks team is their ability to shoot. Most people, guys, on this LA Sparks team can knock down a 3. Dearica and Hamby, 1 for 1 today. Azurá Stevens, 2 for 4 from the 3. Ozzie Sims, 2 for 4 from the 3. Kelsey Plum, 6 for 10 from the 3. Ashlee Barker, 2 of 4 from the 3. They can knock down the 3 with precision. And the third quarter kind of reminded me of the New York Liberty versus Chicago Sky game where we just saw this team just 3 after 3 after 3 after 3 after 3. And you think you solved it, but no, you didn't, because here's somebody else knocking down a 3. So that third quarter kind of opened this game wide open for the LA Sparks. If it wasn't for that third quarter, this game would have been very, very close. It would have been within 10 points. But that third quarter just opened stuff up. The Chicago Sky continued to make mistake after mistake in that third quarter alone. Again, before that, pretty decent. They were hanging in there. But that third quarter just really opened things up. The thing that I love also about the LA Sparks is Ashlee Barker. So Ashlee Barker, this is the second game she started, I believe. Second game she started. And Ashlee Barker is getting comfortable more and more and more in front of our eyes. In that first game where she played a lot of minutes, I was like, or maybe this is the third game that she started. Anyway, Ashlee Barker is not normally a starter. She's not normally a starter. She got in the starting lineup because players are hurt, right? Ray Burrell's down, but mainly she's in the starting lineup because Rekia Jackson is down. And Ashlee Barker, it feels like she's getting more and more and more comfortable. She had a really good game on Friday against the Golden State Valkyries. And in today's game against the Chicago Sky, I thought Ashlee Barker played some huge minutes. She looked very comfortable on the court, and it looked like she was confident on the basketball court. She ended up going 3 for 7. Not the best in terms of shooting, but like as a rookie, as a young player that is not going to play a ton of minutes, it's like I thought she played some really good minutes, gave a really good spark for her team. She ended up getting a lot of fouls, ended up getting 4 fouls in this game, but ultimately she had 9 points, 3 rebounds as well. Overall, really good minutes from Sarah Ashlee Barker. Again, I am a fan of this rookie class. We've already been talking about the Washington Mystics and like how great their rookies are, but the confidence that some of these rookies are playing with is just amazing. I love to see it. A thing to note, guys, is that we did see Liatu King play some good minutes in there as well. She ended up having 14 minutes in this game. Ended up with 2 points, but 5 big rebounds as well, and she has a plus minus of +4. One thing to note is that Saniya Fagan did not get in the game. Again, I've seen some people talk about how in the world Liatu King signs a hardship contract and why is she playing and Saniya Fagan is on the bench. Here's the thing: Liatu King can play the 3 position. She can also play the 4 position. They need someone who can kind of like fill in, kind of like what some of the minutes that Burrell would have. Saniya Fagan can't fill in those minutes. They see her more of a 5, though maybe she can transition into a 4, and maybe so. Anyway, so that's why I think Saniya Fagan didn't play. Again, I think LA is a really good situation for her, and I still think it's all good. But yeah, she probably won't play that much this season. And that's not the worst thing I would say, because I do think she's learning a lot, because you have vets like Dearica, Hamby, and Azurá Stevens in front of you that's teaching you what you need to know. Like that's pretty good. That is I have to say that is pretty good. Okay, so overall, LA Sparks, nice job. Nice job in this game. Nice job shooting the 3. They ended up shooting 48% from the 3. Ended up shooting 47% overall. So like, good game, especially considering that this team is hampered. They wind up at one point winning this game by 15, but ultimately they do win this game 91-78. So, all right. That is, yes. KH says King is a 3/4. Saniya is a 4/5 waiting in line. Yes. And that's okay. All right. So, really good game. Really good game for this team. I don't know when the super chat came in, but I'm just noticing it now. Sorry, JN, for not acknowledging your super chat earlier. Says, shout out Quita's coverage. Need the chat to do research on women's basketball. Really elevates how good these ladies have been for 25 plus years. Too many to name, but Google Lauren Jackson, Cynthia Cooper to start. Yes. Like, y'all, if y'all have been with this channel for a while, y'all know how big of a fan I am of Lauren Jackson. Like, truly. I'm such a big fan that I had, y'all remember those, like, was it a flip? Was it called a flip? It was like those camera things. And you could customize the cover. I made the cover. It was Seattle versus LA, I believe. And it was outside game. It was like, I think the first of its kind, outside game, LA versus Seattle. And it was a tip off. I had a photo of the tip off between, I think it was Lauren Jackson and Lisa Leslie. I believe it was Lisa Leslie. Definitely Lauren Jackson there. And like, that was like one of my favorite photos, like hands down, one of my favorite photos ever shot. Was that photo. All right. And so, anyway, search up Lauren Jackson. It'll bless your soul. She was amazing. Truly amazing. Okay. No, it wasn't a sidekick. It was like a real camera. I think was it called a flip? I feel like it may have been called a flip. Anyway, that has nothing to do with this. Thank you so much for that super chat. I apologize for not talking about it earlier. But anyway. Oh, Jackie Styles is really good as well. Jackie Styles is really good. Yeah, facts. Anyway, let's continue to talk about the actual game now. I talked about it from a neutral observer's perspective about the LA Sparks and how good overall they played. Great. They were great. Now, let's talk about the Chicago Sky. And let's talk about positives and still issues. So, positives, because we got to have something positive to talk about, right? not everything is positive, of course, because you just got beat again, significantly. I do want to talk about the positives, and the positives is, well, the Chicago Sky only turned over the ball 17 times. Now, maybe some of y'all may be like, 17 times. That's a lot of turnovers. 17 turnovers in a game is a lot. And to that, I say yes. Yes, you are right. Seven turnovers is a lot. It is. It's quite a bit. But if you compare that to the other games, progress. Progress. Okay? So the Chicago Sky had 24 turnovers in the game against the New York Liberty. 24. Okay? 24 turnovers. In the game against the Indiana Fever, this team had 19 turnovers. So you had 19 against the Fever. You had 24 against the New York Liberty. So yeah, 17, still terrible, but better. Now you may say, yeah, sure, that's better, but you're playing a injured LA Sparks team. And to that I say, yes, you are absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. So this is not a moral victory. This is just you got a little bit better, kind of, but talent level is different. Talent level is definitely different. Also, another positive is that the Chicago Sky ended up scoring 50 points in the paint. 50 points in the paint for the Chicago Sky, which is really, really good. Now, if you compare this to the LA Sparks, the LA Sparks is a team that has actually been sort of towards the top in terms of their opponents scoring in the paint. So like this is a team that like has done a pretty good job in terms of like keeping their competition from getting a lot of buckets in the paint, right? If we just take a look at the last couple of games for the LA Sparks, in that last game against the Golden State Valkyries only had 30 points in the paint, right? If we look at the Sparks game against the Phoenix Mercury only had 28 points in the paint. So for the Sky to get 50 points in the paint, positives. Now, again, you still lost by more than 10, so like still not good, but progress. Another thing that is progress is the fact that the Chicago Sky, the Chicago Sky ended up, doing a little bit better in the rotations. A little bit better. A little bit. Still not good. But overall, the rotations was a little bit better. I did like, especially in that first half where we saw Kamilla and Angel start off the game, and then we saw Kamilla go to the bench early. We saw Elizabeth Williams come in the game, and we saw her and Angel play together, and then Angel went to the bench, and then we saw Michaela Onyenwere and Kamilla Cardoso come in, and that happened, and then both Kamilla and Angel came back in the game. So I did kind of like that. Now those are the positives, okay? And also you do shoot better. Like this team, still from the three, you were abysmal, but you did pretty well overall in your shooting. 46%, not bad in terms of your overall shooting. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so positives. Again, I'm trying to come up with something that's not terrible. Something that's not terrible to talk about. Now I'm about to go into the negatives, which there's quite a bit. So before people come in and be like, hey, see, you always rag on the Chicago Sky, you ain't never got nothing good to say. Well, you could show them this part of the video and be like, yeah, actually Quita did say some positive stuff about the Chicago Sky. Also, the final positive I would say is the Sky do not lose by 20 plus points. Our first game we lost by 35, and the last game we lost by, I don't know, I think like 20 plus or whatever. Today, we only lose by 13 points. Positives. You're trending in the right direction. But overall, still not good. Okay, not good. Okay. Now, those are the positives. Your rotations were a little better. You score more points in the paint. You are less reliant on the three, which is good. You got a little bit three happy in the end, but like whatever, the game is over. But some positives. Okay, now let's get to the Chicago Sky. Here's the deal. Once again, the Chicago Sky had a glimmer of hope in this game. Again, you come into this game playing a team that Uh, Tulip says, Quita having to reach because the team let the fans down. They did. They let the fans down. They let the fans down. Machiavelli, you're right. There isn't much good to say about this guy right now. However, you know, I'm trying to, yeah, I'll make it here. Let me make it subscriber only mode. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna make it subscriber only mode in just a second. All right. All right, when I make it subscriber only mode, then I'm gonna talk through all the negatives, of which there's a lot. Because again, guys, I watch the games, I peep the games, I see what's going on, and I will share my opinions on the games. Now, I don't hate this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna give a similar preamble to what I did with the Caitlyn stuff I talked about, that I ended up releasing as a separate video earlier today. I'm gonna do a separate preamble because I think some people may not understand. So here's my preamble about the Chicago Sky. All right, now we are subscriber only mode. So in order to comment, you have to be a subscriber. Okay, all right. So here's my preamble. Guys, I am a Sky fan. I do like the Chicago Sky. However, as a Sky fan, as a neutral observer, actually, you don't even have to be a fan to say what I'm about to say because it's true, regardless of if you're a fan or not. Here's the deal. I like this team. I don't have anything personal against Tyler Marsh or any of the players who play on this team. I don't. Okay. Ultimately, I will support this team regardless. Ultimately, I will watch the games regardless. Ultimately, I will continue to pay them a lot of money every single year to watch their games and go to their games. Yes, I do like the Chicago Sky. I will support them. However, things have to be said. Okay. With that preamble, I don't hate anybody. I promise you, I don't hate anybody. I don't dislike anybody. Let's talk through stuff. Okay. Nothing personal with anything I'm about to say. All right. So number one thing that is a huge issue for the Chicago Sky. Okay. While I would say rotations were slightly better today, there are still some huge glaring issues with the Chicago Sky. All right. Well, and you first take a look at that in the starting lineup. Kia Nurse is still starting for this team. Now, Kia Nurse, I will say, in the second half of the game, did play pretty decently, right? She did play pretty decently. She got a couple of assists, right, which is good. You know, she ended up getting to the basket, and getting some tough buckets to go. Positive, sure, that's good. However, here's the deal: Kia Nurse is not a starter in the WNBA. Kia Nurse is not a starter in the WNBA. I have nothing bad to say about Kia Nurse. She seems to be a cool person. She seems to be nice. She's Canadian. Sure. Lots of great stuff to say about Kia Nurse. However, Kia Nurse is not a starter in the WNBA. She's just not. Here's the deal. Last year, she started for the LA Sparks a little bit. How did that work out for them? Not great, right? Kia Nurse is not a starter, okay? She has not averaged over 10 points a game since 2020. Kia Nurse is someone who can come off the bench and knock down some threes. And that's primarily it, right? She's someone who historically averages around 33, 35-ish% from the field. From the three, I should say. So, she's mainly a three-point shooter. Kia Nurse is a defensive liability. She's not a guard that has great court vision in terms of her ability to make some really good passes and whatnot, her ability to see the court and see what's going on and make the right decisions, right? That's not what she does, okay? Kia Nurse is not a starter. At best, you have her in and shoot threes. And the thing that she is probably best at, which is shooting threes, she is shooting 9% from the three, guys, this year. 9%. So the reason why you even got her on this team was to knock down some threes. And she's not even knocking down threes. She is shooting abysmally from the three. Abysmally. And of those threes, she's shooting about 5 threes a game. About 5 threes a game. And she's averaging 9% from the three. Why is she starting? Why? Why is she starting? Again, nothing personal about Kia Nurse. She seems to be a cool person. Nothing personal. But what are we doing? Kia Nurse should not be starting. At all. Okay? Now, yes, she does have a decent game today. She does have a decent game. She does. However, she should not be started. She should. I mean, we can go down her whole stat line. She fouls quite often. She is, again, her court vision is not really there. Her shooting is terrible. This is the worst shooting from the field that Kia Nurse has had in her entire WNBA career. She's shooting 23% from the field overall. 23%. Her worst was in 2020 when she shot 27% from the field. Okay, so yeah, not great. Okay, so that's one thing. That's number one. Kia Nurse needs to be out of the starting lineup, completely out of the starting lineup. Have her come off the bench, play some run plays for her. Have her run off screens or whatever when she comes in the game. See if her 3-point shot falls. If it doesn't, take her out. Try again the next game, in my opinion. Okay, so that's that. That is that. Next up, and also if you all are wondering who I would have to take her place, I would have Rebecca Allen. Now, Rebecca Allen on most teams is not a starter either. However, she's the best that the Sky got. Rebecca Allen is the best that the Sky has to make some stuff happen. Overall, she's averaging 9 points a game, which is like actually pretty good. You know, she is also someone who can get to the rim and score. She's averaging around like 40-something% from the field this year. She is not the greatest of defenders, but I think she's better than Kia Nurse, I would say. But no, she's not the best defender ever. No, not at all. But, you know, I would say better than Kia. And if her shot isn't falling, she can do other stuff. She's not just a 3-point shooter. She can do other stuff if her shot isn't falling. And so, yeah, I would say that. Yeah. Anyway, let's continue on. Next up, okay, you can't spam the same thing 100 times. Say it once in the chat. Please say your piece once. And if you keep spamming the chat, you're going to get muted. Okay? But don't say the same thing in the chat 100 times. Okay? Just say it once. Say it twice if you really feel it. But don't put it in the chat 5, 6, 7 times. Okay? Thank you. Because you all, I want people to see what y'all got to say. Okay? Anyway. Okay, that's number one. Kia Nurse should not be starting. Number one. Number two. I don't think that this version of Courtney Vandersloot is working. Now, do I think that Courtney Vandersloot should come off the bench? No. Because who else can be the starting point guard? You don't have anybody else. You don't have anybody else. But I will say that this version of Courtney Vandersloot is not working. I'm not sure what needs to be done. I'm not sure. But Courtney Vandersloot is being ineffective on the court. Ineffective. Courtney Vandersloot has historically been one of the best point guards in the W. One of the best point guards in the W. Courtney Vandersloot at one point was a MVP candidate. I remember how great of a player Courtney Vandersloot was. And this version of Courtney Vandersloot is just not effective, guys. It's just not. It's just not. She did, yes, Shamika. She did have a fan-freaking-tastic game against Minnesota in the preseason. And she was doing some stuff in the preseason. And so, honestly, I was riding high, and I was like, oh my goodness, Courtney Vandersloot is about to have a breakout year. She's about to be so great and blah 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 blah. But once the season started, I don't know if like Courtney isn't getting enough sleep. I don't know what the deal is, but to me, there is a difference between Courtney Vandersloot now and Courtney Vandersloot in preseason. Now, you could say, of course, it's the difference. The competition got better. She's playing against people are giving their all because it's the regular season. Yes, I understand that. But even with that being said, this still is a different, more ineffective version of Courtney Vandersloot. The reason why you want Courtney Vandersloot on your team is because she can make other people better. And I just don't see it. I just don't see it. All right. So again, what can you do about it? To be honest with you, I don't know what you can do because the Sky don't have anybody. Who do you have that can play point guard? Sure, you got Haley, but Haley was hurt today. She was listed as questionable with I believe, ankle injury. So she didn't end up playing today. I don't even think she ended up dressing today. But yeah, that's something to note. And two, Haley's not ready. She's not. But you drafted her. So, you got her. But she's not ready. And Courtney isn't playing like she's supposed to be playing. And so your head of your snake, the one that's supposed to make everybody better and whatnot, is just, she's there. She's playing minutes. She's giving effort, but she just doesn't have it. She just doesn't, right? She doesn't have it. You know, the version of Courtney Vandersloot that was averaging, 8 or 9 assists a game and 10 plus points a game is not the Courtney Vandersloot we have right now, right? Consistently, Courtney Vandersloot was amazing. This is the same person who averaged a double-double in assists in a year. In 2020, Courtney Vandersloot averaged 13.6 points a game, 10 assists per game, with a turnovers per game at 2.5. So good. And we head into this year, and we see Courtney Vandersloot giving you more turnovers and less assists per game. Sure, did she score 11 points today? Yes, she did. Yes. And has she been a better three-point shooter than others on this team? Yes. However, is she the effective Courtney Vandersloot that we all know and love? No, she's not. No, she's not. Okay? So, talked about Key Nurse. Talked about Courtney Vandersloot. Now let's talk about Ariel Atkins. Ariel Atkins, the reason why the Chicago Sky trade a lot for her. Trade a lot. We lose number 3 pick. We lose a pick swap for next year and whatnot. Okay? We do that to get a perennial all-star, to get someone who can not only play defense, but someone who can be a great offensive player, right? Last year, we saw Ariel Atkins average 14.9 points a game. 14.9 points a game. Shooting around 43% from the field. This year, Ariel Atkins is playing averaging 9.5 points a game, 35.7% from the field. Now, can you say, it's only 3 games in, it's not that big of a deal? Yes, that is true. That is true. However, the version of Ariel Atkins that we saw last year, and the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that, is not the same Ariel Atkins that we are seeing right now. Now, is some of that the offensive schemes? Actually, yes. I think quite a bit of, I would say overall, the issues that this team is having is on the schemes that they are playing. I don't think they work for these players, right? I think we need to see a more involved Ariel Atkins. And I will say this. I do like the first play of the game. The thing that I thought was very promising is this guy ended up running a play for Ariel Atkins, who ends up getting fouled on a 3-point shot. She goes to the free throw line, makes all 3 of her free throws. But the idea of running a play straight up for Ariel Atkins, smart. And if I think the Sky, all of Ariel Atkins' issues is not, I don't think all on her. I think some of that is her not being aggressive enough. Also, I just don't think they're running enough for her. I don't think they're running enough for her. So that's my thoughts there. Be more aggressive, but also let's be a little bit more. Let's run some plays for your best player, who is Ariel Atkins. Ariel Atkins is the best player on the team, and in my opinion, she's the best player on the team. And the fact that you're the best player in your team is not your leading scorer, and is only averaging around 9 points a game is a problem to me. It's a problem. And the fact that the player that basically you traded away Ariel Atkins for Saniya Fagan, basically. And you see what Saniya Fagan is doing with the Washington Mystics, and you see what Ariel Atkins is doing for us. And it seems like that's a negative trade. Not because Ariel Atkins isn't good. She is. She's still an elite defender, and she's still a bucket. However, you have to run plays for her. You have to get her involved early in the game. You got to. You got to make it happen. And today she was good. Today Ariel Atkins was doing her thing, right? 9 points for her, efficient, 50% from the field, 5 assists. She was getting foul happy, but she was trying her best. But you gotta run plays for her, and you can't just get the ball and everybody just stare. We saw plays being ran in that first half. And it felt like they kind of went away from that, especially in the third quarter. They kind of went away from that. But overall, run plays for your best player. Run plays for your best player. Get her involved early. She needs to be touching the ball. She needs to be scoring the ball early. Okay? Because right now, this looks like a bad trade. Right now, this looks like a very, very bad trade. But I know Ariel Atkins is a really good player. You have to unlock what she can do. Okay. All right. Now let's move on. Let's move on to your post players. All right. So Kamilla Cardoso, 6 for 9 in this game, 12 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 fouls. Almost got fouled out in this game. I will say this. Kamilla played better in today's game, but what we have seen in the first 2 games, especially, is a Kamilla that didn't play super strong. Now, Kamilla, she's a big body, right? 6'7" body, big. So she's going to get fouls called on her quite a bit, right? But those fouls cannot hamper her ability. Those fouls cannot hamper her ability to be physical down low. Kamilla Cardoso is someone who I think is a very skilled player. She can be, if she wants to be aggressive enough. And there are sometimes, not necessarily in this game, but in some of the other games that I've seen of her this year, is that like she maybe tries like hurry up and post up, and if she doesn't get the ball, she kind of walks away. And do the guards need to do a better job at getting her the ball? Yes, 100% yes. But also, does she need to do a better job of consistently giving her guards looks? Yes. But it's clear that the Sky are not using Kamilla Cardoso to the best of her abilities. They're just not. I think it's wild that Kamilla, again, 6'7", and yeah, she was efficient today. Yeah, she was. Right, 12 points again, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Sure, efficient. But I just find it amazing that you have a very good guard that you bring in via trade. You have a 6'7" player down low who can play bully ball if she wants to, and you're not taking advantage. Okay, you're not taking advantage. I think that's an issue. And then we get to Angel. Angel was more efficient today. I have to say, I have personally been very disappointed in Angel's play this year. I've been very disappointed. Now in Athletes Unlimited, in Unrivaled, I thought that Angel had a slow start, but then really got in the groove and was looking very, very good. Her and Chelsea Gray was proving to be a fantastic 1-2 punch. Fan-freaking-tastic 1-2 punch. However, it seems clear to me that it's a difference, going from playing with Chelsea Gray to playing with the Sky. There's definitely a difference. 2, there's of course a difference between 3-on-3 and 5-on-5. 3, it took her a while for Unrivaled, and it seems like it's taking her a good while for this. I will say this: Angel she's always been inefficient at the rim. Like that's not a new thing, right? And again, for those who had just tuned in, I don't hate Angel. I don't. I like her a lot. I think she's a great player, and has a lot of potential. But yeah, anyway, Angel has been thoroughly inefficient. She has, in my opinion, not been as focused in those first 2 games of the year. Now today, a whole lot better from Angel today. But the first 2 games, first game, really, really, really not good. Against the Indiana Fever, where she scores, of course. She of course gets rebounds, but she's inefficient, right? On that first game against the Indiana Fever, she had 12 points, 17 rebounds, shot 35% from the field. So not great. And then she follows that up at home in the home opener, where she proceeds to score 2 points, 12 rebounds, and goes 0 for 8 from the field. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. It seemed like she was just throwing, like she just didn't have it. Like I don't know if it's like all the media stuff that has gotten to her, or what. I don't know what it was, but that game on Thursday was the worst game I've ever seen from Angel Reese. That was the worst game by far I've ever seen from her. And so it was a question mark of, okay, is Angel really the starter for this team? Like, should she really be starting? Should she really be getting as many minutes as she's getting? However, I gotta say this, guys. In today's game, I thought Angel played well. I did. I thought Angel played well in today's game because it's not all about points for me. It's not. It's about impact. And I thought Angel did a good job impacting today's game. I did, right? I do think she did a better job impacting the game and did enough to be like, okay, well, maybe, hopefully that was just a blip from you. Maybe that was a blip from you. Stephanie says, maybe taking a toll on her mental. Sometimes people forget she's human. Yeah, facts. I mean, that could absolutely be it. That could absolutely be it. That could. But I guess maybe the days that she had between Thursday and today, Angel was the best Sky player on the court today. She was. And, you know, I don't really have much negative to say about Angel today because she played well. Now, does Angel still need to work on making her shot the first time? Yes. 100% she does. 100%. Make the layup on the first try. Do she get fouled on those shots? Yes. But you still got to make it. You still have to make it. And yeah, she still missed some shots today. Now, nowhere near as abysmal and as horrible as she was on Thursday. Now again, Thursday, worst game I've ever seen. That was pathetic how bad she shot on Thursday and her overall focus on Thursday. 100% terrible. But today it was better. It was better. Thank you so much, Jim, for the super chat. Says love your channel. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you. Douglas says, what's everyone think? Thank you so much for the super chat. Douglas says, what's everyone think about WNBA scheduling? 4 games today, 3 started at the same time. Strange way to get TV viewers. Well, the other games were not on TV. They were on local TV and they're available on WNBA League Pass, but I don't believe they're on national TV. What you'll see is that, besides Friday, you won't see a ton of games on national TV at the same time. Now, do you see that sometimes? Yes, especially on Fridays. You'll see that with Ion. But for the most part, you see local games that are also available on League Pass at the same time. Now, I'm not upset with the league about their scheduling. The reason why is because they're literally cramming 44 games per team in the summer. So it's not a lot of time. That is not a lot of time to have a bunch of games. So I don't fault the league or Kathy Engelbert for any of that. Like I don't think that's an issue in my opinion. Because like it's just a sheer amount of games in a short amount of time. So like, you know, the scheduling is going to be how the scheduling is. Because games that happen at the same time typically are League Pass only games that are available to in the local area, but are not available nationally besides League Pass. Okay. So yeah. Besides Friday. On Friday, Ion does that. They have games at the same time and it's national. But besides Ion, that typically doesn't happen. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. So again, let's see. Purple says, what stats are you reviewing? Quita game 1 and today are what's expected from Angel. When Angel is distributing better than the guards, we have an issue. Well, what I'm talking about, again, when I am talking about Angel, I'm not talking about total points and I'm not talking about total rebound. Okay? Because number one, Angel won't get her rebounds, and that's not an issue. Not an issue. That's not what I'm talking about. When I talk about Angel, I am largely looking at her efficiency and how she just overall looks on the court, right? And yeah, sure. In that first game, yeah, she had 12 points, 17 rebounds, but she shot 35% from the field and missed quite a few makeable shots. So to me, I want Angel more in that 45 plus percentile in terms of field goal percentage, right? I want to see Angel more of not just someone who can make a layup, but also someone who can facilitate and make an impact that way. And that's what I saw today. That's why I said that her game today, I ain't got no qualms about it. Because today she was more efficient. Now, again, does she still need to make those shots off the first attempt? Yes. She still has to work on that. But I do like that it was not more than one miss, right? Also, I do like her ability to pass. However, Angel had 4 assists today. Nice. Great job passing that basketball, making stuff happen. But she had 4 turnovers. So to me, those cancel each other out. So really nice job passing that basketball, Angel. But also, you turned over the ball 4 times. And to me, when you're looking at assists, you also have to look at turnovers, and they wash out. They wash out. So, like, yes. She did do a good job passing today. And also, she got to get her turnovers in order, okay? She had 5 turnovers against Indiana. She had 5 turnovers against New York. 4 turnovers today. She has to get that in order. Okay? Have to. Goro says, yeah, the turnovers were not great. Not all were her fault. Correct. I mean, and that's the thing that we see a lot, right? Not all turnovers are your fault, even though they're accredited to you, right? So yeah, sure. Not all were your fault, but most of them were. A decent amount were. So, again, that's something that you have to get together. Shamika says, no buts. Angel was the best player on the Sky. Today, yes, Angel was the best player on the Sky. In general, no. In general, the best player on the Sky is Ariel Atkins. But today, yes, Angel did play the best. She did. 13 points, 12 rebounds. She shot, 45% from the field. Again, better. Not where you need to be, but better. Okay? So, yeah. Anyway, the overall offensive scheme for this team needs to be improved. You need to bench Kia Nurse, have her come off the bench, start Beck Allen, and Rachel Banham, when she comes in the game, run her off a whole bunch of screens, get her open for a 3. And run plays for Ariel Atkins. Ariel Atkins should not be attempting 6 field goals in a game. That's ridiculous. Ariel Atkins needs to be at least attempting 10 or more field goals a game for Ariel Atkins. That should be the target. 10 or more field goals a game. Okay? Actually run plays for your best player, who is Ariel Atkins. Actually run plays for Kamilla Cardoso. And do the pick and roll more. We saw the pick and roll quite a bit in that first half, and they kind of went away from it. Yes, LA was hedging on those pick and roll actions. However, I want to see that more, where either Angel or Kamilla is setting a screen for the guard with the basketball. That has to be a thing that you do more. That has to be a thing. Damon says they need a go-to scorer. If you're depending on Reese to be the leading scorer, it will always be a problem. Yeah, in my opinion, Angel should not be the leading scorer for this team. Absolutely not. It should be Ariel Atkins. And Ariel Atkins is supposed to be the go-to player. That's why you traded for. Me says I would not start Beck Allen. Who would you start? I mean, I don't think the Sky should start Kia Nurse anymore. Rachel Banham, they can't start Rachel Banham. Because 1, Rachel Banham's shorter. 2, I wouldn't start her. So I would say Beck Allen. I mean, I don't know who else you can start besides Beck Allen for Kia Nurse. The rest of the starters, I don't think you can't do anything with Courtney Vandersloot. I mean, I don't think you can put Kamilla or Angel on the bench to start the game. Because yes, E-Will did give some really good minutes in this game. I think E-Will's starting days are behind her. I do. It says Banham has your highest field goal percentage. Well, I mean, sure, but does that mean she should start? At least I don't think so. I don't think that means she should start. Yeah, Rachel Banham is shooting 53% from the field, and she's shooting 53% from the 3. So yeah, she is someone who can score in bunches. I don't think she's a starter. I think she's someone who comes off the bench and gives you a spark. To me, I think that's what she is. I don't think she's a starter though, because I think if she started, that percentage would go down. I think that percentage would go down if she started, personally. So I think Tyler Marsh has a lot of work to do. No, Tyler Marsh should not get fired. No, it's still early. We still have a lot of time. This is not all is not terrible. All is not over. However, I think the Sky have some glaring issues, and I really do think they have to work through it. Bench Kia Nurse, start Beck Allen, run plays for your best player, who is Ariel Atkins. Get Angel and Kamilla involved in that pick and roll action, specifically Angel, and then actually run plays to get the ball down low to Kamilla. And Kamilla, be aggressive. Be aggressive from the get-go. If you get fouled, whatever. Get fouled. If you get fouled out, whatever. You got E-Will on the bench. Okay? And Angel, keep your focus. Play like you did today. Today you played well. All right, keep your focus, keep your head, and look at the basket when you are going for a layup. Yes, you are getting fouled sometimes. You are. However, the referees are not going to call it. You have to make your shots. Focus and make them. So again, play like you played today. Play like you played today. And please, 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 Courtney Vandersloot, Tyler Marsh, can we please run some real plays? Not just run plays where you pass it to someone and they try to go ISO or whatever. Run real plays with off-ball movement. That is something that we don't see that much with the Chicago Sky, and we see it a lot with all these other teams. We see a lot of off-ball movement, and we did see some of that today. I believe we saw more of that today in today's game, off-ball movement, but we need to see more of it. More off-ball movement for this team, and that's going to make a lot of awesome stuff happen. So, again, more aggression, actual plays, getting it to someone who you know can score, because right now, you know your scorers. Run plays for them, give them the basketball, make it happen, and go for it. Okay? So that's my thoughts there. That's my thoughts. So again, I don't dislike anybody. I'm gonna say it again because again, there's probably some new people who may still be like, oh, I knew she thought that or whatever. Anyway, that's my thoughts. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments below. Ultimately, this guy Tay Boogie, thank you so much for this super chat. Says, do you think a double big pick and roll can work? I'd be open to see it. I'd be open to see it. I would. I'd be open to see it. Nadia says, we need off-ball movement to get Atkins more involved and to get easier looks. Yes, run some plays and make wide open threes. Facts. Nadia with the truth bomb. Boom. Yes. All right. Anyway. That's it. I don't have nothing else to say. That's the stream. I said my piece. And again, remember guys, a thing to remember, guys, is that we can indeed talk about players and we can indeed be critical of players and coaches and teams and all that stuff without being disrespectful. And I try my best to wade that line of being, truthful, critical, but also not disrespectful. But I try my best. Am I perfect? No. But I try to wade that water well. But anyway, what do y'all think about what happened today? What do y'all think about the game? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, guys, I thank you all so much for rocking with me. Thank you. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you all enjoy rocking with the awesome people of the internet. Okay? Y'all have a great day, and I will see y'all in the next one. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.